The word sterling felt like a physical weight in the room. I stood frozen, the red juice still tacky on my skin, watching the color drain from Chloe Miller's face until she looked as white as the tablecloths. Beside her, Marcus Miller, her father, had just joined the table. He was a man who usually roared at everyone, but right now, he looked like he was suffocating. Thomas had a daughter," Marcus stammered, looking at the silver-haired man. "My brother Thomas died protecting her from people like you, Marcus," the man, my Uncle Arthur, replied. He looked at me with a tenderness that felt completely foreign. "Maya, I have spent 10 years looking for you. Your father hid you to keep you safe from the greed of this city, but he left everything in my care until you were found." I couldn't breathe. My father, the man who wore flannel shirts and smelled like sawdust, was a sterling. The family that owned the shipping lines, the banks, and the very air this city breathed. "This is a mistake," Chloe screamed, her voice cracking with desperation. "She's a waitress. She's a nobody. You can't just put a dress on a pig and call it a princess." Arthur didn't even look at her. He snapped his fingers, and a woman in a sharp suit appeared with a garment bag. "Take Miss Maya to the royal suite. She has 15 minutes to prepare for her first board meeting. The rest of you," he turned to the crowd, "stay exactly where you are. We have a lot to discuss." 15 minutes later, I didn't recognize the girl in the mirror. My hair was washed and swept into a sleek, royal bun. The red stains were gone, replaced by a midnight blue silk gown that hugged my frame and flowed behind me like a shadow. Around my neck sat a diamond necklace that cost millions. I looked powerful. I looked dangerous. I walked back into the ballroom, and the crowd parted like the sea. Every person who had laughed at me now bowed their head. I walked straight to Chloe's table. "You said I looked dusty, Chloe," I said, my voice projecting through the entire silent room. "How do I look now?" Chloe couldn't even speak. She was shaking so hard she had to grip the edge of the table. Her father, Marcus, stepped forward, his hands out in a pleading gesture. "Maya, please, we've been neighbors for years. My company manages your apartment building. We can work something out." Chloe was just being a teenager. "You managed my building, Mr. Miller?" I asked, a cold smile touching my lips. "Then you're the one who signed the eviction notice for my mother last week while she was in the hospital. You're the one who told me poverty is a choice when I begged for a 3-day extension." Marcus turned gray. I didn't know it was you." "That's the point," I whispered, leaning in. "You only care when you know who someone is, but as of now, I know exactly who you are." Arthur stepped up behind me. "Maya, I've already started the process. The Miller Group is heavily leveraged. With one phone call, we can pull their credit lines and have them in bankruptcy by morning. It's your choice." I looked at the phone in Arthur's hand. I thought about the cold nights, the hunger, and the way Chloe had poured juice on me while the world watched. I reached for the phone, but before I could take it, a man in a police uniform burst through the doors. "Marcus Miller," the officer shouted. "You're under arrest for embezzlement and the illegal seizure of property." Marcus fell to his knees, but as they led him away in handcuffs, Chloe looked at me with a look of pure, unadulterated hatred. She pulled out her own phone and pressed a button. "You think you won?" she hissed as the police dragged her father away. "You have no idea who my father really works for. One phone call, Maya. That's all it takes to make you disappear again." As the call connected, the lights in the ballroom suddenly flickered and died. A single red dot appeared on Arthur's chest.